ABC launches its new series V tomorrow night. Many will be tuning in to see what those aliens will bring to Earth.
But the folks up in one Texas town will be watching even closer. That's because legend has it, Aurora, Texas, had its own alien encounter over 100 years ago. It looks like any other small Texas town. Just north of Fort Worth, population 376.
It has such a beautiful view.
But something in Aurora is different, mysterious, and some say downright weird.
It's just a legend.
April 19th, 1897 would change this town's identity forever.
They said, hey, have you heard about the Martian who crashed his aircraft into a whale site over in Aurora? And I said, no.
Former Mayor Barbara Brammer first heard the story of the UFO crash shortly after her arrival in the 1950s.
And I kept the legend going whenever I was teaching, when we had new people into the community.
Legend has it that in 1897, 6 years before the Wright brothers' first flight, a number of reports came in from across the country of a cigar-shaped flying machine. An article in the Dallas Morning News reported that the craft came crashing down in Aurora. Today, the crash site is an old well sealed with concrete.
About noon, it had the fire had gone out enough that they could get in there and see what really happened.
According to a purported Army officer from nearby Fort Worth, in the crash debris was the body of the pilot, said to be badly disfigured and not of this world.
They scraped up all the stuff that they could find, and they brought it down here to the cemetery and gave him a Christian burial.
Here is the grave site today. It sits under this tree in the old section of the cemetery.
They eventually came down and put a marker on it, and the marker has been gone for several years.
Stolen, Brammer believes, by souvenir hunters. The cemetery has been designated a Texas historical site for, among other things, the legend of the UFO pilot. But no one has ever been able to prove the story or rule it out. In the 1970s, the Texas UFO Network asked to dig up the grave, but that was denied.
The cemetery board said you're not going to touch that.
Brammer says they were worried spotted fever, which wiped out much of Aurora around the time of the incident, would rear its ugly head.
We were afraid of what it would do to this area again.
Last year, another group of UFO hunters used ground-penetrating radar and did find a mysterious unmarked grave. But the grave was so deteriorated the radar simply could not identify what was there. And so the alien mystery continues, and the legend of Aurora is the only real thing that remains.
It's a good story, and it's got to be a good story because it's been around 112 years.